So, what do you got? You have a special for us?
I do. It's called American Cars versus Foreign Cars. A little bit of stats and facts, and what would you buy? Choosing between American and foreign automobiles is sometimes a complicated decision, but it's interesting to find out what people want to know about it and how they make their decisions. What percentage of cars are American? Well, nearly half of all cars in the United States are from overseas. More specifically, about 45% of them are foreign cars. 54% are domestic. So that's a fairly decent number, American outweighing the foreign. What are the foreign cars better than American cars? Well, better is a subjective term, but because European car manufacturers usually have stricter regulations, the requirements from an automobile manufacturer in America, they tend to be higher. The quality tends to be a little bit lasting longer. That's consensus in the people that are looking into buying these things. Why are American cars better than foreign cars? Well, that's another choice that you have to make. American cars are sometimes better than foreign car vehicles, especially to consumers that want to buy American. Wherever they can. I mean, even in appliances and multiple choices purchases as well. Even though sometimes difficult to tell exactly where the parts of that vehicle are made. Do American or foreign cars last longer? There's always an argument regarding whether American or foreign cars last longer. At one time, typically, vehicles drove very well under that banner about 100,000 miles. That was the max. Now they're about 300,000 miles and still going. So it's a matter of maintenance and how they put them together. Who assembles the most cars in America? Well, you're looking at, in the United States, Tesla assembles the most in the United States in the country, followed by Jeep at 89%, Cadillac 86%, Dodge at 83%, GMC at 80%, and number 11 on the list is Nissan, which assembles about 55% of the vehicles in the United States. Why do Americans prefer foreign cars? Well, whether these perceptions are completely realistic or not, it is subjective, and there's a few reasons that people have in their own making of that decision.
Can I just jump in?
Sure.
So, back in the day, when Toyota and Honda came to the United States.
And they were head-to-head.
They were head-to-head, but the movement was, in my era at that time, late 60s, early 70s, that the foreign makers, Honda and Nissan and those bunches that came to the United States first, they lasted longer. They were better built. They were higher quality cars.
Well, they were smaller cars, too.
They were. But
they were.
But and for that, they competed.
That mattered, yeah.
They competed against the other smaller cars that the manufacturers in the United States were making. The Novas, for instance, that sort of stuff.
I had one, and it was a great car.
But that was the nomenclature here, that we all said, oh, well, I hear that they make longer-lasting cars. And that wasn't necessarily true. If you took care of your American car, which we didn't do, we treated them like trash.
Well,
35,000 miles, we traded it in on something.
It was a different era because they didn't last much longer than 35,000.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by that?
Well,
my dad's Buick lasted forever.
But our age, when we were growing up, I was flipping cars every couple of years, as a teenager. That's, you get...
Well, I didn't have that kind of money, Jeff.
Yeah, I think that's part of being a teenager, though. But you're right. I remember my dad rebuilding motors in the driveway. Oh, it's got 100,000 miles on it. It's got
rings in it.
Yeah, you got to put rings in it or bearings in it or something.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always something.
And why are American cars not sold in Europe? Well, it's the conception and not being the better built vehicle, like you just said.
It's not true.
Well, that's the perception and the conception of some of the people.
Yeah.
So. Anyways, worldwide, there's roughly 160 brands of vehicles, which means the makes of these vehicles, as far as models are concerned, there's new ones popping up all the time, but as of 2020, they estimate about 250 to 260 total models of vehicles. So make your choice.
My God,
it's all
that's
you.
a lot.
Yeah,
man.
And some of them brands I've never even heard of, so it's kind of
And there's more and more now.
Yeah.
Now it's the electrics that are. Everybody's trying to get a foot
EQ
in the door.
or EV this and
Rivian,
S-Type,
Ocean. There's all sorts of different new makers that haven't even thought about coming to the United States yet, but they're poised to. We haven't even opened up the market to the Chinese.
Yeah.
And the Chinese really have a leg up on pricing and longevity, mileage on their electric vehicles. We haven't even opened a store here yet. That's coming.
They interviewed the CEO of Hyundai on some news show last week or whatever, and he was talking about how they want to come to the United States and start blasting cars out in the United States.
Yeah.
And they ended the conversation on a handshake, so that was good.
I have to tell you, and I'm going to review this in a couple of weeks. I just took a delivery of a 2025 Ford F-150 hybrid. Granted, it's $80,000, but let me say this. It's a hybrid. And boy, is it nice.
Hybrids are popular. Yep.
Hybrid is the way to go. Manufacturers know how to make them. They've been making them for a while. And I think they got the juju down on the hybrids. Mm-hmm. So if you're going in the market for a new car, I would definitely check out a hybrid if you can. They're a little bit more expensive, but hey, it's worth the money, I think.
Cadillac Escalade electric, 460 miles is what they're touting.
And on range.
Yeah, range.
So keep that in mind. All right. Time now for a quick break here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We're on the Hot Rod Tour. Thank you for joining us up here at Spindle Tap Brewery. We're back after this. You own time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2025 Genesis GV80 Coupe. And
where's he at?
I don't know where he's at.
I don't know where he's at either.
Yeah, he's right here.
Yeah.
Don, new car review.
Okay, we're going to do his first. All right, let me find it.
Is there a problem?
No.
No, we're just looking at the wrong page.
All right.
Again.
Let's see.
No,
so
right
the 25 Genesis GV80 Coupe is one to itself. You think, well, it's a GV80. No, it's GV80 Coupe, and I'll tell you about it in a minute. It was built in Ulsan, Korea.
All right.
So do what you will with the new tariffs. Available trim levels, just one, and that is this one, a 3.5-liter turbo ESC MHEV AWD. You guess what that, do you know what all that means?
No.
I have no idea.
I don't either. Mm-mm. And I didn't ask because it was too complicated. Standard SUV, 2 rows, 4-door coupe, because it's a fastback roofline. Now, they changed the rules somewhere between 1945 and today that they call this a coupe. Now, to me, a coupe is a 2-door.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah.
Apparently the fastback roofline now defines what a coupe is, and so they've glommed on to us 2-door people that like real, honest-to-goodness coupes.
Maybe they're calling it a
call
coupe.
This, well, you call it that, okay? Let's see. Seating is 5, including the driver. All new for $25. So this is a brand new. Quad slit headlights. Big open mouth grille. Looks good. Looks modern. Fastback looks. Fast and good. Fake slits on the front fenders. Looks like engine cooling ports. You can see them on there. Mm-hmm. I want to say the 3-holder or 4-holder from Buick is probably what they stole that from.
Yeah, probably.
Am I right?
Or the late 50s Oldsmobiles also had them on the fenders.
Everybody copies the Buick.
Everybody. And you went out and bought one.
I did.
That's because you got tired of copying.
I got my copy.
Body style, fastback, as you could tell, and stop calling it a coupe. Call it a fastback.
Okay.
Why not? Why don't you just say what it is instead of coupe? Because coupe is 2-door. All right, interior highlights, 27-inch instrument cluster and nav screen. It's awesome. Secondary screen above the console has a master entry for the HVAC and media system. Dual knobs on the console, screen input at the shifter. Also, soft touch materials are top-notch throughout the cabin, comfortable and attractive throughout. Cargo room is big. What I liked about it, luxury touches throughout the cabin. What could use improvement? Not impressed with the Bang & Olufsen sound system. Have you ever had one of those?
No.
I have, but it's...
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what it's lacking. But you turn up the bass, you try to adjust the treble, the mid-range. None of it seems to really make a difference to anything.
To me, it doesn't have enough power. It needs a bigger amp.
Is that what it is? Maybe that's what it is.
To bring
I
it
don't
out.
know. Wasn't impressed. And I did not like the function keys on the side of the fob knob. You familiar with that?
No.
Mars, I know that you've had some cars like that. So here's your car fob. Now, to me, all here on the front are the fobs, okay? On the side, you can go ahead and switch out of that, Jeff, and put us on camera.
Yeah, there you go.
You could always go back to that.
All right.
So here are the knobs here, right? See the knob, the function knobs? Over here is where they put them on the side. Do you know how hard that is to read? Because there's two sides. One controls things like, open the car, close the car, lock the car. The other side things is like open the trunk, or let's do the start the engine thing. They're on the side. I'm not sure why they did that. I'm sure there's a reason.
Well, and if you put a bunch of stuff in your pocket, changing stuff, it's a whole lot easier for those buttons to get pushed on the side than they are up on the front. I don't know why.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm done with my complaint. And you were in charge.
It's still early.
You're in charge of the complaint section.
Yeah, it's still early. We got time.
Yeah. So it has a 3.5 liter twin turbo with a 48-volt supercharger. I'm not exactly sure what that means. To me, a supercharger is a blower that sits on top of the engine most times. And anyway, I guess in combination, it turns out 375 horsepower, 391 pound-feet of torque. And not to continue to diss them, but, you would think that they would make accommodations for people like me and going, well, this is how we came to that conclusion.
Old people.
Old people. Okay, thanks. 8-speed automatic transmission, tow rating 3 tons it'll tow.
Wow.
Yeah. 21.5 miles per gallon is what I got over 279 miles. 18 miles per gallon city, 22 highway for a combined of 20. What could use improvement? I think a little bit better gas mileage, especially with that electric system that is kind of glommed on to the motor. Ride and handling, ooh, it's a nice ride. I put that down there.
Ooh. He wrote ooh.
Very nice ride. What could use improvement? Nothing in the ride category. Base trim price $85,750. At prices tested $87,780. Base model price $85,750. Competitors: Mercedes-Benz GLE class $74,279. The Porsche Cayman Coupe. Yes, they make one too called a coupe, and it's a 4-door.
Great.
$89,089. And the BMW X6, $75,100. So there's a lot going on there, a lot to package up. I'd encourage you, if you like that body style, go out and check out the Genesis GV80 Coupe for 2025. It is all new. And the really nice thing about Genesis, Kia, Hyundai, that they add a lot of content for the amount of money that you pay. Even though it's expensive, it fits in line with the others, and I think once you get down to it, you might just like it.
You get what you pay for.
Give it a shot, if you will. All right?
Great.
Time now for...